Did Jesus really rise from the dead? I mean, that's a fair question. In fact, it's a huge question. It's the question. In fact, did Jesus rise from the dead? If he didn't rise from the dead, I would just give up. I mean, there'd be no reason. Jesus would have been a martyr for something, or maybe he didn't exist. But that's a fair question. So that's the question that we want to address today is, did Jesus really rise from the dead? Well, to be fair, I want to start out with the fact that almost every historian, maybe not every one, but nearly almost every historian, not just Christian historians, actually believe in the historicity of Jesus Christ. There was a man about 2,000 years ago that lived in the Middle East, and he taught, and people followed him, and they killed him. Okay, the difference is some people actually believe that Jesus not only died, but 3 days later he rose from the dead. And we know from history that something happened after Jesus died that turned a little group of scared believers and followers and that kind of disciples, and it turned them into a bold group of people who went around the world convinced that Jesus was alive and trying to tell everybody else Jesus is alive. And in fact, they went to their graves saying Jesus is alive, even though the people that killed them gave them a chance to not to really get rid of the idea that Jesus is alive. And they said, nope, Jesus is alive, and then they were killed. In fact, back in those days, the first century, there was a non-believer who was a historian named Josephus. He did not believe. He didn't buy into the whole thing. He just wrote down what was going on there. And actually, he said that these followers, they were convinced that this Jesus was alive, and that they went around the world talking about this risen Christ. So there was a historian that was alive during that time that was he didn't believe, but he knew, and he wrote down for history that these people, they believed in a risen Christ. Now, why would you die for a lie, something that you knew was a lie? You would die for something that you knew was truth. And so why I believe that Jesus, in fact, rose from the dead is because every believer died believing that Jesus was alive. They never changed their mind. Also, the soldiers that had Jesus' body in the tomb, all they had to do was come up with Jesus' body, and the whole thing of Christianity would be done before it even started. All they had to do was present the body, but they couldn't. There was no body in the tomb. In fact, they had to make up stuff like, hey, the followers stole his body. They made it up. Why? Because the body wasn't there. So God bless you. I love you guys. He is alive. He is risen.